It is 7:21. We got some snow coming today, a bit more coming tomorrow, and it's a little bit of cold. That's basically it. That's the situation. Winter. Tammie, Mayor, and Sid here with you.
Winter.
That's winter.
Winter.
Still could be worse, right? I know it's been cold. The snow situation could be way worse than it is.
Oh, yeah.
I'll take it. Mm-hmm. All right, I know, speaking of January, I know it's January. I know we're very early in the U.S. presidential race, if you want to call it that. But it feels like tomorrow really means a lot in New Hampshire. And when the weekend started, we were down to 3 in the Republican race. Donald Trump, heard of him? Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley. Well, yesterday, Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, suspended his presidential campaign, which in layman's terms means he's run out of money. It's a stunning decline. He had millions from donors when this started. He was supposed to be the guy. This was the new face of the Republican Party. He placed a distant second last week in Iowa, which was the first state in the race to name a party leader for the Republicans. He was only polling at 6% in tomorrow's primary in New Hampshire. Nikki Haley and Trump are kind of neck and neck going into that tomorrow. One of the other reasons why Ron DeSantis has pulled out of the race, he's endorsing Trump, by the way, is Ron had this issue where he didn't smile good. I have never seen, I know it doesn't seem like that important. It was one of the most awkward smiles and laughs I've ever seen in my life. It's like he wasn't born with that chromosome. Like he doesn't have the smiling gene in him. It was like his issue was interacting with humans. Say what you want about Trump, and I have. He's got that thing when it's one-on-one. I don't know how to explain it. Ron DeSantis never had that thing, ever. All right, so in terms of Ron DeSantis, the fall here, Tam, I'll start with you. How surprising is that, and what does this mean for tomorrow between Nikki Haley and Trump?
I think it's a huge surprise, considering he was supposed to be like the alternate Trump. Yes, more right-wing, but also he was supposed to be the one who didn't have the, the criminal charges against him.
Oh, those
and
19,
the indictments
yeah.
all over the place, right, in like 6 states. So you would think that you would be able to overcome that, and he just went down, and I think it has a lot to do with his lack of, like, his roboticness. Like, he is...
The bad smiling and things.
Yeah.
What a fall, Mayor, though. This is quite significant.
Yeah, this is very significant. And, I mean, you bring up the nuances that really start to be accentuated as this race continues. And, how the voting public seems to respond better to this Trump option than someone else that doesn't have the ability to smile. What I'm interested in now, and I've seen it already, is that Trump is now going hard for Nikki Haley. I mean, the comments coming out of Trump toward her, obviously preparing for what's ahead, the nastiness is, that is not of yesteryear. I mean, that is front and center. And I'm concerned to see this play out in his, in how he chooses to show up and operate at all times, especially with women.
You thought you saw misogyny before.
Yeah.
I don't agree with a lot of what Nikki Haley kind of stands for politically. I do respect her for what she's about to go through if this is a long haul thing. This is not going to be easy for any politician, let alone someone who's a woman who's going to be targeted in the way that she is about to be targeted. But I think her calculation is she thinks Trump's going to be in jail in about 8 months. And if he's in jail, look, the exit polls in Iowa were really interesting. Exit polls are when you vote, and you basically are asked a bunch of questions, like anonymously, but they ask you questions after you go in the ballot box. And a lot of Republicans in Iowa, this was the most important thing I saw, they said if Trump was found guilty of any of the charges out there on him, any of the 91 charges on him, he is not fit to be in the White House. There is that element of the Republican Party that's giving him the benefit of the doubt to a point. And Nikki Haley, if she plays her cards right and she's neck and neck with Trump tomorrow night in New Hampshire in the polls, who's the last person standing if Trump's in jail? And I guarantee you this, Biden's more afraid of Haley than Trump. He's beaten Trump twice. He beat Trump in the general and the recount. Never mind January 6th. He already beat twice. He'll beat him a third time. I don't think it's going to go the way people think. Haley, though, very different discussion. Very different. I think she can broaden the tent. She's a much more dangerous political, in my view, much more dangerous political opponent. But I thought Ron DeSantis was a good politician, too.
Well, but
I've been wrong before. I've been wrong before.
I think, too, though, it's, the game of politics. I mean, he got hot early, if it makes any sense. And she's coming up kind of in the time that is needed. So yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what goes down.
Yeah.
Go Nikki, stand your ground.
Tomorrow,
and watch for that misogyny.
Yeah, it's coming tomorrow
coming.
to the New Hampshire primary. So
A lot of news with the neighbors. That's the latest.